If you're accepting both unemployment benefits and pandemic unemployment assistance, are you breaking the law? Hey everybody, this is a second stimulus check and stimulus package update. Our third second stimulus package update for today. Hope you are good and safe. Earlier today we detailed breaking information about the second stimulus package that it might get approved on by August 8th. Later we also detailed information that you could be seeing not one, but two $1,200 checks. But now shocking details about PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, and UI, Unemployment Benefits. If you didn't see the exchange yesterday in our PUA and UI discourse, our third video of the second stimulus package of the day, one viewer said that they were receiving both UI benefits and PUA benefits, and I said you can't. A viewer dropped in the comments after that recording, oh yes they can. In all states they can get both PUA and UI benefits contiguously at the same time. It became one of those moments where you sort of park the car and you know you left it on the second floor, but someone says to you, you left it on the third, and you think, I certainly thought it was on the second floor. So LALATE went back and looked at this. If you don't recall, when this channel launched on April 25th, LALATE was detailing how to apply for PUA before the system even went live. And at the very, very beginning, we detailed to you that pandemic unemployment assistance was passed under the CARES Act. It was part of the first stimulus package. It was passed by the Trump administration because of the concern that a lot of American citizens are self-employed, and that because of the pandemic, they would not get unemployment assistance because they weren't employees, they were self-employed. Hence the creation of PUA. And at the time, the Trump administration and the law said you have to be ineligible for UI benefits to get PUA. So this viewer came in and not one but two said, oh, you can get both UI and PUA benefits at the same time. Well, we went back and looked, and here's what we found. First, unemployment assistance and PUA are administered at a state level. So ultimately, the laws may be slightly skewed and different from state to state. But with that in mind, you need to be very careful of what your state is saying as opposed to what the state that you aren't in is saying. This is the guidance that LALATE can detail for you, however. The Department of Labor, the U.S. Department of Labor, says it is totally illegal to get both PUA and UI benefits. The CARES Act, signed into law by President Trump on March 22nd, gives the states the option of extending unemployment compensation to independent contractors and other workers who are ordinarily ineligible for unemployment benefits. This is what they put under PUA, that you are otherwise ineligible for unemployment benefits. California is among the states that actually answer the question very directly. In their Q&A, questions and answers, California actually has a line. Can you get PUA and UI at the same time? Absolutely cannot. California says no. The question is, if I'm already receiving regular unemployment benefits UI, can I switch over to PUA and identify myself as an independent contractor? No. If you're receiving UI benefits, you cannot qualify for PUA benefits. So it's very, very clear. You must be either regular UI and to be eligible for PUA in California, you must be ineligible for UI. This channel has detailed extensively, literally a PUA video every single day since April 25th. And in those videos, we have detailed the following, that every state, that nearly every state requires you to certify that you are not eligible for UI benefits, or that they're going to disqualify you as ineligible for UI benefits before they make you eligible for PUA. Let me explain how this works. In some states, you have to, as an independent contractor, apply for UI benefits and get a denial of UI benefits because you're an independent contractor, you are not an employee, before you can apply for PUA and get eligibility for PUA. In some states, viewers have said they have to do it twice. They have to get denied twice for UI benefits before being eligible and approved for PUA. In some states, the application is 2 separate steps. In some states, the application is 1 step. But ultimately, the vast majority of states have that. California is not an anomaly. In New York, it actually says the same. Pandemic unemployment assistance, PUA, is available to individuals who do not normally qualify for unemployment benefits. PUA offers temporary unemployment assistance to those who are unemployed or unable to work and are not currently eligible for regular unemployment benefits. So it's really unclear what state those 2 viewers were in, the one that I commented on yesterday's video and the one that jumped in the comments and called me wrong. If they are in California and New York, it's against the law to get PUA and UI benefits at the same time. The reason why is the following: because when you go to PUA, you have to be ineligible for UI. So if you got PUA, in those states, you would have had to have answered the question improperly to trigger a qualification on both platforms. Ultimately, what does this mean? If you are in a state in which PUA and UI benefits cannot be extended to the same person at the same time, you could ultimately be subject to repayment of those benefits. It's quite serious. So ultimately, what you need to do as a viewer considering a second stimulus package and stimulus program is to make sure that you are not using both systems in a state in which it's prohibited. Ultimately, you need to go to your individual state and determine whether or not that state allows you to get both UI and PUA benefits. Lastly, and this is so important, sometimes people think that just because a system effectuated something for themselves or their buddy or their friend down the street that they borrow a cup of sugar for, hence it's correct. That's not the case. Ultimately, what you need to do is look at your state level. You need to look at your state unemployment website. Finally, a lot of viewers have always asked since day one of the launch of PUA, what if you're in UI when you should have been in PUA, and why are you in PUA when you should have been in UI? Ultimately, this is a mess that a state has made. And if you try to fix it and they don't want to fix it, that ultimately is perhaps upon them. The most common example is the following. Uber and Lyft drivers are independent contractors. It is indisputable that you're an independent contractor. You're paid a 1099. You are not paid a W-2. However, some states are very irate about the situation. Why? They are irate because they think that Uber and Lyft are treating you or calling you an independent contractor when they're treating you as an employee. Why is this important? Because if Uber or Lyft had treated you as an employee, they would have paid payroll taxes on you during the duration of your work for them. That payroll taxes are paid to the state. Those states would have had millions, if not tens of millions of dollars from Uber and Lyft had they classified you and other drivers in its state as employees. Rather, they classified you as independent contractors and didn't pay payroll taxes. So what are some states doing? Well, in California, they're suing Uber and Lyft. They're irate about the situation. In other states, they are, instead of classifying you as independent contractors, PUA, they're putting you into a UI as employees. And you may say, well, I know I'm not an employee, I'm a PUA. Well, if that is the policy of the state, that's what the states are doing. Whether or not they're suing Uber and Lyft to get you back pay, then so be it. If you're also new to this channel, we've detailed another second stimulus check and stimulus package updates that members of Congress want to get you money as an Uber and Lyft driver. They think that you're entitled to as much as $2,500 in back pay because you were misclassified or inappropriately classified as independent contractor when they claim you were allegedly an employee. They also want to provide you on a second stimulus package health benefits going forward, which you don't normally get because you're an independent contractor, and also all of the benefits and security of an employee that you would not normally get as an independent contractor. But let's get get to some of your questions about the second stimulus check and stimulus package and PUA and UI from yesterday. All 83 of them. Robert Henson, gotta love LALATE, like and share. Thank you. Florida, Robert also. Florida requires a claim every 2 weeks. You get 2 separate deposits day after day. The first PUA in the next 600. Great, Robert. So viewers of this channel ask me repeatedly, why, when I go into the portal, does it just show 137 or 147? It doesn't show the $600. When am I getting the $600? Why did I get this, but I didn't get the $600? State systems are set up for unemployment. They're not set up for PUA. They're not set up for the CARES Act. They're set up for what they've done all along. And so when the $600 came along, the computer systems just don't, some of them just don't want to update their computer systems to put the $600 in there. They just say, well, presumably you all know you're getting the $600. Why do we have to put it in the computer system? You'll get the money and it'll come in a different deposit. Everyone is a hypocrite is the screen name. It's not my shade. Hazard pay should be implemented since day one. Very well said. Our abstract impression, Karen. You make me laugh, LA. You say just call unemployment. Get a hold of anyone. And unemployment is an impossible task. It is. If I said that, I was in error. You can't get these people on the phone. It's horrible. Miguel the Bronx. Hey, I like keep up the grain info. Thank you, Miguel the Bronx. He's a longtime viewer of this channel and supports this channel. Thank you for supporting this channel as well. He's an Uber and Lyft driver out of the East Coast, and he got his EIDL loan and grant money because of this channel. Nancy M. Always great info. With PUA, do we enter gross income when applying to self-employed? I believe so, yes. Some states don't even ask for it. Lori Patton. PUA in Texas, if you're working reduced hours due to the pandemic and there's much more than your PUA, you will not be paid for that week. That's the same in every state, actually. Just happened to be a friend last week. He worked 14 hours. And, yeah. So why is this? The amount owed was $73 over the 207 base. Why didn't they pay the $600 benefit? They don't. Robert Henson, who also supports this channel, thank you for your donations, Robert. He said the same thing in California. That I think it was in California. He said that if you don't trigger that, if you work during the respective week that you're certifying, and then you're no longer over that benefit amount, and you're at zero, you still don't get the $600. But if you're at $1, you would get the $600. Samantha, California EDD, sent me a bunch of certifications, all consecutive, which I signed and returned. Still waiting on the money from B of A. Patience is gold here. So the B of A card comes about less than 2 weeks after all those certifications, and it's funded within a few days after that. Thereafter, when you do your certifications, the money jumps into the B of A card literally within 24 hours, viewers of channels have reported. Tank Dot. I think people are confusing PUA with the $600 and think PUA is the $600. They don't realize they're two different types of employment. People just don't understand things. Well, it's confusing. Come on now. Let's tone it down a little bit. Chris, Social Security does not affect unemployment benefits, but a pension does. Thank you. Tom Forbes, thank you for everything you're doing. I just joined you now in Hawaii, if not before, making our 7 days sunnier. Well, thank you, Tom Forbes. Hawaii has been a bad state in paying PUA. They've been very slow. Chris, I think your viewer means he's receiving regular UC and PUA, meaning he has a WC. That's correct. You can receive both. Not in California. Not in New York. Better be careful, Chris. Beth Buckley, great information as usual. For the record, baby blue is your color. It's baby blue is today as well. I think I saw your comment. That's why I wore it. So thank you, Beth, for the comments. If you have comments about what color I should wear, drop in the comments below. And what color I look horrible in, you can drop it as well. LP Shift. According to the Federal Department of Labor, you can only collect PUA once unemployment determines you're ineligible for standard unemployment. Thank you for someone doing the research, LP Shift. So if someone's receiving both programs right now, unemployment will collect the overpayment. Exactly. Some states are doing it that way because they're just paying out claims and adjudicating, investigating later, so people have money now. Very well said. I love that. There you go. Linda, I should just have the viewers do the show. Linda Martin, I filed for the endless grant. I'm sure if I do it right, did I do it again? If it's EIDL, drop in the comments on EIDL. Political Lil, Illinois will not pay for back PUA. They will pay from May 10th. I'm certified on March 22nd. They won't pay PUA. It was not operational. I don't know that's the case in Illinois. Just because the state wasn't operational doesn't mean they won't pay retroactive. You need to look on the state. States will indicate whether they pay retroactive. Some states just don't have computer systems set up for it yet. Interceptor, PUA, UI, stimulus checks, and bombshell. Great information, huge deposits. Very nice. Thank you, Interceptor. Victor Jones, thanks for someone answering my question. I received PPP with no employees, manufacture custom furniture, still no work. Can I stay on PUA and use PPP for October, November? I know there's a conflict. What are the rules in California? Please help. California has a great Q&A on their website, so you want to look at that. I don't think the PUA, the PPP is violating the PUA. I think it's the PUA that's, well, no, I take that back. I don't think the PUA is violating the PPP. I think the PPP is violating the PUA. You know, with PPP, you have to get back to work. You're getting money to put employees, which could include yourself, back to work. So if you're spending so if you get the PPP money, at some point you have to get back to work with the PPP money. So when you're getting back to work, you can't be on PUA. It's as simple as that. Now, if it's taking you 7 months to get the PUA money from the awful bank you're dealing with, then you can certainly collect PUA while the stupid thing takes to process. Mark Salmon, still haven't heard a word from Kentucky. Wow. Awful. Mitch McConnell, get your PUA together. Rain Cole. What if on a benefit amount I didn't get the $600 of the government? It only has zero amount was paid. Well, first you have to get your base level benefits from your state to get the $600 from the federal government. If you got that, you'll get the $600 from the federal government. It may be delayed. It may come with a deposit. Don't worry, it's coming. Nestor Camacho, I still can't find your Wedball, your Weeble, and life insurance from your unrecognized company links. Just want to make you laugh. Yes, boy, get some life insurance so that if there's a bombshell, you're protected. Rowan, Rowan's always so nice to this channel. Thank you, Rowan. I'm glad to see people elsewhere starting to get some money paying in Texas, but it's been really getting people off PUA and UI. It's crazy. Spiking cases. They want us all out here opening our business. And in my case, cars to deadly germs. Anyway, PUA in Texas, July 5th is the end of waived work search. Oh, so great point. Under PUA, you don't have to do search for jobs every week, actually any of the weeks. But there's a window when that's expiring. You need to look at your state. In Texas, she's saying it's July 5th. As you know, the $600 from the federal government for PUA expires in July, and members of Congress are on vacation skinny dipping in the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know where they are. But the point is that until members of Congress get back in session and pass an extension of the PUA benefits, that $600 for the federal government is going to expire. So if you are impacted by COVID-19 and qualify for certification of each of your respective weeks, make sure you get that certification in so you get paid for the $600 from the federal government if you qualify, because of the running of time, you may not get it come July. Beauty Babe, love your helpful videos. Well, thank you. Ms. Working and Mark Gamey, I applied March 28th PUA in Florida. I'm not getting it. What can I get? Florida has been the hot mess. It is the number one, it is the poster child of hot mess for PUA. No one's getting paid. One viewer yesterday said that she's in Florida and she has been with this channel since the very start, April 25th. I think it was Eileen. And she said she had not gotten anything. We talk about it on every video. And yesterday she got $8,000, $9,000. She got a check for $3,000. She got a check for $5,000. It was basically, she got that 170 times 10 weeks and 600 times 10 weeks. You can do the math. It was a lot of money. So when it comes, and it's all there. Just make sure you certify for all your respective weeks that you are eligible for. And when you do, you're just going to wake up and say, wow, buy me some Weeble. No, I'm just kidding. Say Ru Napo backwards. What about if you had surgery due to COVID-19 pandemic and you had to stay home, but you still have a job? No. There are classifications for COVID-19. There are classifications for PUA. They're administered under the law. They're repeated in every state. Some viewers have said to me there's a slight version that where the verb is changed, but it's generally the same. So no, if you had surgery because of COVID-19, but if you just had surgery, you went out and had a you went out and had a nose job and you couldn't work during the pandemic, can you get PUA? No. I'm just saying. No, if the surgery was for COVID-19, absolutely, yes. Samantha, regarding PUA and PPP, the jury's still out. Depending on the state, it could be a conflict. Depending on your lending institution, and Steve Mnuchin can be a conflict. As you know, all those PPP applications are starting to come to a head. They're starting to close. We did an EIDL video moments ago. I'll drop in the links above about whether EIDL is running out. We certainly know that PPP is about to close. But what does that mean about everything else? Because as the person talks about, with PPP coming to a close, so does trigger that forgiveness period, and a lot of hot messes are going to roll up. If you have questions to today's video, drop them in the comments below. This is one of 3 second stimulus check videos today. There's also 2 EIDL videos, one on grant and one on loan. As any other thing comes up in the second stimulus package, whether it is grant money, jobs, free money right in your pocket, new loans, new programs, this channel will detail them for you as soon as they break. As always, stay FLA for more.